Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about America's bastard stepchild again. Canada is recently in the news as the country prepares to make some interesting alterations to its national anthem. A few days ago on February 1st, Canada's Senate passed a bill making the country's national anthem gender neutral. If you're not familiar with the words to Oh Canada, which, let's be honest, I don't even think Canadians know its words, let alone us Americans. Well, here's how the first few lines of the English version originally read. Oh Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. I'm not a singer, just get used to it. Anyway, the bill changes the phrase in all thy sons command to in all of us command. And before it's finally passed and officially changed, it must now receive royal assent from the Governor General before it becomes law. I also think Cuck Nanada has a king or queen or some shit who has to bless the new anthem with maple syrup or poutine or something. Some other nonsense. That should be fun to watch, but for now, I want to talk about the discussion surrounding this change.
So you heard the version that everyone is familiar with, thy sons command.
In all thy sons command.
But, it's going to do a little switcheroo. And it's going to, the exact words are, in all our, do you have it?
In all, what,
in all
running
our,
in the news all morning. See, and this is the problem because we're going to, in all our, something command.
Well, it doesn't seem like that big a deal since, for one, it's a minor change, and two, people don't really care about Canada. But believe it or not, some people actually do. And I say love for one's country is an honorable thing, even if your country is a socialist nightmare like the Canucks. If I was Canadian, God forbid, I would be pretty pissed right now. This change is not only unnecessary, it's also another in a long list of concessions given to the leftists and SJWs, who are constantly preaching their Marxist PC tone policing everywhere. And now they come after one of the first lines in the Canadian anthem. And it's equally infuriating to see Canada's leader, the feminist-in-chief Justin Trudeau. He's going right along with this. He's encouraging it even. Here's his tweet about the matter reading, Morrow's bill to make Oh Canada gender neutral passed third reading in the Senate tonight. Another positive step towards gender equality. Hashtag in all of us command. I don't really see how changing this one word is a step towards gender equality. We already have gender equality, you dummy. American and Canadian men and women have equal rights and opportunities as well. So I don't see how this could help with something that's already existing. We have gender equality.
First of all, I'm going to keep saying loud and clearly that I am a feminist until...
Hear me roar.
Until it is met with a shrug. Why does every time I say I'm a feminist, the Twitterverse explodes and news medias pick it up? It shouldn't be something that creates a reaction.
And on top of that, were people even complaining about this line in the anthem to begin with? Because I highly doubt it. Only the most uptight, douchiest SJWs would be getting upset by a line that says, all thy sons, which of course comes from an older, more traditional time when sons could be seen as everyone. We are the sons of our fathers, the sons of God. Old language like that wasn't meant to be offensive or exclusive at all. But now we got modern day SJWs putting their new perspectives and their PC everything. Everything has to be fair and shit culture. And then boom, we get dumb solutions to non-traversies like this one.
It simply is saying, I believe in the equality of men and women, and I believe that we still have an awful lot of work to do to get there. That's like saying the sky is blue and the grass is green. So the fact that it's still garners a response, positive response, means that we're still going to have to be using that word. And if I can...
These people are almost as bad as those statue vandals we've seen in America throughout last year, defacing, covering, and tearing down America's historical monuments, because the modern day snowflakes are offended by them now. And let's not forget, these are the types of people that are offended by everything. So making changes to statues and anthems will never really make them happy. They never quit. First they come after our schools, and then it's the TV and sports, and now it's our traditions and history. That's why I say SJWs should never be appeased. You can't deal with them. You can't deal with crazy. And forgive my trite analogy here, but they're kind of like Hitler. Appeasement never works because they never stop. They always keep moving on, wanting more and more.
In all of us command.
In all of us command. Okay.
So,
wow.
But here's the thing.
Should have been prepared for that one.
But it also, we knew that, but it slipped our mind, and it's going to take some time for people to adjust, and they're always going to go back to all thy sons command because they're used to it. So it'll take us some time. You'll all get used to it.
I did all the rest of the history.
He knows
I know everything about this right now.
And with all that said, this change to the Canadian anthem might seem minor, but it's actually just one step away from letting the SJWs change the whole anthem into some sort of pro-feminist transgender nightmare. And that's why I say if it was me, I would stand my ground here. If I was Canadian, no changes are acceptable in this situation. But I don't know if everyone feels the same about that. Most people will just give in and rather not fight it. Let's take a look at some people from both sides. Some stuff I found on Twitter. Here's a tweet from the Canadian Romy Millennial responding to Trudeau. She says, quote, "All of the other countries are laughing at us." Yep, can't see she's wrong there. I've been laughing at Canadians for years, and this liberal, Marxist, anti-traditional stuff just makes it worse. I say Rome is right to stand up for Canadians and their history, but the beta soy boy Bunty King begs to differ. Bunty Queen responds with, "Honestly, bro, I don't really care that much. It's such a minor change and doesn't take away from the spirit of the anthem. What's annoying about it is it's only happening for PR points." You heard it here, folks. Bunty doesn't care that much about his national anthem. It makes sense though, since I never hear this guy talk about Canada issues at all. All he does is sit in his igloo tweeting lies and slander about Trump all day. Bunty's obsessed with America and Americans, but not enough to move here and contribute or something, just enough to bitch about it online all day from his ivory tower in Canada. Pathetic. Now, Romy Millennial, being the alpha female she is, responds with this: "They're changing our national anthem, which has united Canadians for generations and generations, because of progressive gender politics. Maybe other people don't care about national tradition and heritage. Bunty doesn't care. But this bothers me. This is dystopic. I'm disgusted." I couldn't agree more. Romy gets it. I think she's our girl. You see, if we don't stand up for our countries and our histories and traditions, they're all going to come crashing down eventually. I'm sure Bunty would happily let Canada turn into the next caliphate if it was up to him. Fuck the anthem and fuck Canada, am I right? It's so sad, but maybe Bunty just doesn't care because he's only first-gen Canadian. Not like his family has much roots there to begin with, but I'm not really sure. I'll bet the real Canadians are sad to see their country falling apart though, turning into this dystopian, socialist, communist, fem-Nazi nightmare. And it wasn't just citizens and YouTubers in Canada who were upset. Canadian Senator Denise Batters tweeted this, out in disgust: "Shameful, anti-democratic behavior by Trudeau-appointed senators, including Senator Speaker, as they shut down legitimate debate in the chamber. Looks like this wasn't even a choice done by the will of the Canadian people. Sure, Trudeau was elected, but he's been on a selfish social justice crusade since day one. Now he's got his appointed senators doing his dirty work on the anthem, even shutting down legitimate debate on the issues in their government chambers, which I believe contains an ice skating rink. And voting is done by checking opposing senators and sometimes entering into all-out hockey brawls, goon style. It's basically like our Senate, but on ice, with fighting. Oh, Canada, your governments are so strange, but that's why we love you, and that is their tradition."
Isn't she beautiful, scraping off the pudding with the grace of a butterfly? She rubs the pudding on her face. The prince now attempting to remove one of the princess's arms, as is, of course, the tradition. The princess screaming with pain, everyone watching with anticipation, and the arm is off. Things are back to normal here in Canada. Time-honored traditions are once again... Yes, the princess is sticking the princess's arm up his ass.
In the end, this really shouldn't be a surprise coming from our socialist neighbors to the north. Like I said, things have been bad there, but it's been exponentially worse since Trudeau took over. I could do a whole video about that douche, but for today, let me put it this way. Just think about the stark differences between not only the US and Canada, but also our leaders and their actions, especially in the last week. I always turn back to this picture that sums up our differences between leaders perfectly. Trump sitting there confident and aggressive, and Trudeau sitting there girly and passive. And the things they've done the last week are very telling. While Trump was giving a super alpha victory lap State of the Union speech, talking about making America great again, protecting our people, and holding up the good old American tradition of kicking ass and taking names, while our president was doing that, Canada's leader Trudeau was making their anthem gender neutral so it doesn't offend the SJWs. This is just pathetic. I truly feel sorry for Canada this week. While we have a leader who is strong, confident, and alpha as fuck, Canada is stuck with Trudeau, a cucked up beta feminist who goes out in the streets with trannies wearing pink dresses, talking about how offensive things are. Pretty messed up.
Discussed God keep our land. A lot of people were a little concerned about that as well, because again, it spoke of God and not all Canadians believe in God. The other thing too, two very really interesting things. Two very interesting things, kids.
What do you guys think? Should Canada be changing its anthem? Was the "Thy Sons" line even offensive to begin with? Will the leftists and their anti-tradition, anti-history campaigns ever stop? Comment your thoughts below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Don't forget to follow my new Twitter, link below, and until next time, have a great day, everybody. One more thing, I want to give a special thanks to these amazing Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys went above and beyond the rest, and I love you so much for it. If anyone else wants to donate or join our Patreon crew, link in the description. Thanks again. They act like they're, I don't know what, they're the girls are getting objectified and they're getting pimped out or something. I mean, I can see where they're going with it, but I disagree like wholeheartedly. Like, these aren't strippers. Like, these aren't even the worst kind of job like for that sort of category. It's just one of those things that it reminds me is where these feminist cliques, they go after the popular group or like the big targets, you know, like they want to take down Marvel comic books because it's the most popular, so they invade and they're like turning all their characters into females and
that's not working anymore.
Yeah, transsexuals or whatever they want to make them this week. And then with this one, you know, they see these popular Formula One stuff. Formula One's super popular in Europe, like even more so. I know there's fans here too, but yeah, they just go after that, and it's bad for everyone that's really involved. Like, I bet you those people that are complaining have never watched Formula One.
Right, and dope to watch. And the funny thing is that